Tonight, the Defenders take an unflinching look at the problem and if we're making progress.
In the time that you were in care, how many placements were you in?
I'll say about 30.
In December 2015, federal judge Janice Graham-Jack ruled the state's foster care system unconstitutional.
While Giovanni's death sparked the creation of the Blue Ribbon Task Force to fight child abuse, it also revealed glaring issues inside Child Protective Services.
At some point, some other adult had to have seen these children, saw that there was something wrong, and they did nothing.
Rather than dealing with these children's issues, they just dope them up.
2-3 years ago, we had the highest rate of removals in the state of Texas.
We knew that she was female, we knew that she was 9 weeks, and we knew that she was hurt. That's all we knew.
I have more than hope. I have more because of the people that surround me. Everyone's there for me, but I mean, they're never going to take my mom's place.
You know, you could just donate money, but why decide to be hands-on and go out and do this yourself?
Because I want to see it done right.
That was just a glimpse of our KSAT 12 Defenders amazing special that aired Friday night. Months of research, interviews, travel, writing, and editing went into this. Fair to say, a lot of time as well.
All of this in an effort to bring forth change in the system meant to protect our children. And we're so happy that our Defenders team is joining us now here. We have Myra Arthur, we have Dillon Collier, we have Tim Gerber, we have all of them. Also, so happy to have the photojournalists who put so much work into this, Josh Saunders and Dale Keller. Thank you guys for being here. First thing is hats off to you. Fantastic. It was compelling and it was informative, eye-opening. How did you decide to do this? Why this topic, Dillon?
Tim's idea. Came up with it several months ago, and we talked about it at length, and I think Tim can explain, you know, why this topic.
Yeah, the management came to us and said they wanted to do an hour-long Defenders special, and we were kicking around ideas. Everybody had some. And this is a topic that I think anybody who's lived in San Antonio a long time knows is an issue that needs to be addressed. And we had the 2015 lawsuit that had been hanging out there, and we have the legislature right now that's kind of being asked, are you going to come up with changes, or are we going to force you to make these changes? So it was a natural topic, and everybody just ran with it.
Yeah, and you guys did run with it. And this question may be more for Dale and Josh. How long did it take collectively for you guys to put all this together?
About a month. Yeah, it took us about a month.
4 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe it. You guys were running a gun at big time.
That's actually surprising. I would have thought it would have been even more because it was so in depth.
We dedicated a lot of time. I mean, it was go-go. I mean, this was our focus.
Guys, what kind of feedback have you received so far to the special that aired Friday night here on KSAT?
A lot of feedback so far. Folks that have been impacted by either, you know, they were involved in a CPS case at some point in which they hadn't been, and feel that they were unfairly dragged into a situation where they came under investigation, to folks who want us to look at different parts, different state agencies like DHS and some of the other agencies that are out there.
So there's going to be more stories to come because of
Certainly.
this. Most of us, I believe, are parents here. You will soon be a parent.
About to be, yes.
So Myra, for you, I mean, you are carrying a child, and to see these stories and hear these and report on them, it must have been an emotional experience.
It was. I think it was for all of us. I mean, we watched this before it aired 2 or 3 times, and I think even the stories that we did, doing it personally and then actually seeing it all put together, it definitely was an emotional thing for everybody. And what I think that we really made a goal of was to show that there are people out there that are saying, okay, it would be great if lawmakers step in and take some action, but we're doing what we can right now. So that's some feedback we've also gotten from people who are really invested in the system. They know how it works. That to me has meant the most, to hear them say, hey, you guys shone a light on something that really was in a dark place.
Tim, Dillon, what was your personal takeaway from doing the special?
I think just the fact that people trusted us with their stories, and they were stories that people around them know. I mean, some of the people that are in this I know personally from my wife's work in the foster community, and it was not easy to get them to tell their stories, but when they finally realized what we were doing and they trusted us, it was very special, and all of them have reached out and said thank you very much.
Some of the grittiest work we've done. Most days I'm able to leave here and kind of wash away what we've worked on,
sure.
But working on these stories, especially the past abuse cases, it sticks with you, and took its toll. I mean, it was a lot of work emotionally to get through this. I think I speak for, you know, everybody that, you know, these stories wear on you a little bit, putting them together.
Well, that was a question I had for you guys, because you actually take all the video and sometimes these stories, you have to be creative with ways to come up with videos. So how did you do it?
It wasn't always easy, and doing what we do, you develop a thick skin. And it was a little tough on one of the stories I did with the little drug baby, and it was a little tough. But on the same side, I was inspired because we saw some people taking on some of these kids, and these kids have developed. I mean, they were beat up kids, and now they're out running around and playing, and they're happy. And it made me feel good, because we saw a lot of bad, but we saw good too.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, you kind of, you do the past cases, and you're revisiting these horrible stories, but then you see organizations like Hank and True Light and others that just normal people coming together and making a huge difference in these kids' lives.
I have a question for all you guys real quick. And after having seen the piece, and we hope you do see it as well online, is there hope out there?
I think so, definitely, yeah. I don't think we need to wait for the state to make changes. I think if you look in your own community, and there are foster care providers in our own community who are already doing innovative work to try to make this a better situation for all involved, and I think anybody sitting at home that's interested in doing something, now's a perfect opportunity to do something.
Well, speaking of legislation, Myra, one of the things they talked about was trying to get it out of so much out of the state control and more into local communities. Do you think that would be impactful?
I think so, and I think that that's one thing we have heard over and over and over again from former CPS investigators. That was one of our pieces, who said this is a community issue. It's not something that just falls on the shoulder of a state agency. There are people out there who see these children, they suspect something may be wrong, but they don't do anything about it because they just think, I don't want to get involved, or I could be wrong. This child could be fine. But you have to start at the very base level and report it for someone to be able to know that they have to take a second look and they have to see what's going on there.
And because our community has gone through these tragedies, these horrible cases that Dillon revisited, we're better off than some communities because we've been there and we see where we're going.
This is we've run these stories over and over and over. We know these stories continue out there, but hopefully this has sparked a wider, larger conversation after all the hard work you guys have done.
It was great, great special. I just can't thank you all enough for opening everybody's eyes about it. If you haven't seen it, please go to KSAT.com. It is so worth it. You will take something away from the special.
Yeah, so the entire thing is right now available on KSAT.com. Click on News and head to the Defenders section, that 1 hour special right there in its entirety, along with resources on how to report abuse and, more importantly, how to get help. Great job, guys. I know it was tough, but thank you so much.
And thanks for coming in and being on the show.
Yes, thanks for coming in. It's great seeing all of you today.